What's going on in the Magic Circle Studios today? Well, why, if it isn't a carnival of animals, who will the first creature be? This is Melanie Gruby with Creative Magic, and around here we're all about all things art, that deep part of us that wants to sing out. So step into the Magic Circle Studios, home of the all-powerful Muse, and now you're home. So we're looking at some of the stuff I've been doing lately around here. Now I like to go to Illustration Friday. IllustrationFriday.com is a great website for participating in making art and showing your art. And I suggest you go there and try it out because it just gets your hands dirty and it gets you going and gets you creating. So I was there, I was doing a piece, and as I worked on the piece, I don't know that the piece was particularly speaking to the theme that was there for that week. Every Friday a new theme is put on the website. You go there, you get your theme, you make it, and you upload it, and all week it's displayed, along with a lot of other artists' work. So I was working on the piece, and I was really enjoying the piece. However, I could hear music in my head as I worked, music that I knew, and it turns out that it's a piece of a classical piece called The Carnival of the Animals by Saint-Saens, and I started to think maybe I should illustrate that piece. The piece is composed of 14 movements, which are sections, and each movement is a different creature. The last movement is a summation of all the creatures, kind of a conclusion, so not just one creature. So it's 14 movements long. And so let's take a look at how I got there. 14 movements long. Could I really do that? I don't know. Really stick to each given prompt for 13 animals and then put it all together for a big conclusion? Well, I thought I'd go ahead and stretch myself and see what happened. So how I start my work is I do color studies. Maybe not for that particular piece, but for just figuring things out in general for future. And then as I work, I've put paper near my water tub, and I go ahead and I just let it spatter. And I now consciously spatter more and more. I don't try to put the spatter in certain places, I just spatter. And as I look at the spatters, I turn them and look at them and study them until I can see the figure, the theme, in them that I'm looking for. So I try to work with more than one canvas. If one's not speaking to me, I move on to another one until I find what I'm looking for. What is it? Well, it's something different every time, and that makes it tricky. It also makes me think, can I do it? Did I mention the creature? It's the lion. The Royal March of the Lion. The lion energy was showing up in my life, in my real life. I had people around me who were getting into my face and trying to lead me around and going on parade, making quite a show of it. I realized he was a showy guy and fierce. So part of the great thing about the spatters is that they bring out the subconscious. They make me work on that level. Why don't I just put the color on after I've done my drawing? Well, I don't think my drawings are as good. I think that I work on with my conscious mind too much, and it looks a little trite, a little bit too controlled. I like the freedom of the subconscious mind. That's why I'm going. This is the set. I have to say, I bought the set because I adored the packaging. It's a metal case, and it's just lovely. I have my trusty ink. I've got my scratch pad where I scratch out my ink on my pen nib before I apply it to the paper, because I hate it when I get blobs. Put that pen nib to the paper, and all of a sudden, plunk, a whole spot just spreads out. And I've got my pens, I've got my pencils, mechanical and otherwise, pen nibs, and I of course have my trusty eraser and brush for working on that pencil sketch. And finally the paints that I was working with. So, and here you have it. This is my March of the Royal Lion, as it's called in the music. There's my frog. See the splats that brought him out. The rabbit. There's some birds back here. And of course this roaring, half insane lion. Kind of crazy. Probably not very realistic. And that's what's so great about him. And that's it for the first episode of Carnival of the Animals. I'm Melanie Gruby. This is Creative Magic. And remember, don't be afraid to spill a little paint or a little ink, and maybe even like Creative Magic, thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel so I get to see you next time. Thanks. Bye for now.